The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to the weekly Noyantis Usergroup Meeting. Today is Monday, the 14th of May, 2018. Apologies for the late cancellation last week. It couldn't be helped. Both last week and now, actually, at the moment, we're actually not at our office. We're actually over in France. So we came out here, but I didn't have all the infrastructure in place to be able to host a meeting. So I thought I did, and I didn't. So apologies for that. But we have this week. I'm here, so we can make a start. So as always, if anyone's got any questions or queries, problems, issues, or ideas, then please feel free to raise your hand. We'll open the mics up, and we shall we'll discuss your requirements. Okay, so while everyone's getting their questions and ideas together, we've already had one question in, and that was off Roberto. So let's open up the microphone.
Good morning!
Hi Roberto, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing good.
Very good, very good. So
I still have a problem with my reg free on the
reg
command
free
bar.
on version
Command
18.3.
Yes.
Okay, so
I don't know if it's with a combination when you use several of them. I don't know. But if I just take off the reg free on command bars, my app works. If I put it as reg free, it doesn't start.
okay, well, tell you what, we'll start with an application. We'll just build on top of it from there. We'll add whatever other controls you use. But if we start with the command bar one, that's as good as any. So I'm just going to take. I'm not, as I say, we're not in the office. We're actually over in Noyant in France, which is actually where Noyantis gets its name from. So yes, basically, I will just take the regular example app which I've got with us, and we'll apply from there. Of course, on the server, all of our tests and so on and so forth, our test harnesses, they're all on the server and they have passed. So I know there's no problem in it, but let's take a look for today for you anyway. So, and we're down to one single screen, which is interesting. I forget the last time I actually worked like this.
Well, just let me tell you, I'm not the only one having problems with it. So
Yeah, no, that's okay. So, first of all, let's just open that. Oh, not that one. There's command bars, and let's open that. So, what's this currently set to? Use 18.3, not register, not license. Okay, so let's just take a compile of that. So we've got a starting point. It was actually, while just waiting for this, it was actually interesting. One of our very good users, Graham Healy, he's over in Australia. He normally watches our webinars on a weekly basis, and even joins in sometimes. Obviously, hell of a time difference between the UK and Australia, but interesting. He's over visiting Europe, so last Tuesday I actually went up to Le Mans and met him for the day. That was quite good. So now it's out and about. So if anyone's ever over in Europe, please feel free to give it a shout, and if we can meet up, we will do.
I was.
He was.
Yeah, like a year ago. I landed at your main airport, and that's about it.
Which main airport? We've got a few.
In London. Heathcliff or something like that?
Heathrow.
Heathrow?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay, so we've got an 18 free there. And now we want to put that reg free com, of course. So now, how are we going to do this? I'm going to have to try and pause the when I put the license in, because I do have other screens with us, but where I've just moved to a different room, I haven't got the other screens set up, so I'm only on a single monitor. Okay, so for reg3com, obviously, for those who aren't aware, you will need the OCX in the working folder. So we'll just copy in the command bars. Let's put that in there. And we'll just have a quick look if there's any manifest files. This, I know, Roberto, you probably know this, but it's for the sake of it.
It created the manifest files for me and everything. Yeah. They're in there.
So there's our standard manifest. There's no dependency assemblies. That's good. That's good so far. So, as always, we will go to this. We will say we want to use reg3com. It's in the working folder. We're going to compile in the license. Now, I'm going to pause this. Right. Now, I'm relying on you guys being honest. So if I pause the screen, can you see the mouse moving around?
No.
Okay. That just gives me a breathing space a second so I can just grab my license and put it in, because I'll do anything for anybody, but I'm not going to reveal our license codes from it off.
You can have mine if you want to.
I've actually got most of
Andy, there's an audience view. There's an audience view you can see too on GoToWebinar. One of the panels shows you what screen people see.
Just move it to your other monitor.
I trust you guys. Cool. I've got most of you guys have given us your license codes anyway. Okay, so we've got that. We've compiled our licensing, and we've got our reg free. And do use the current directory. There is an issue if you have it in another folder. So do have it in the same folder as the exe. So let's take a look at that. Let's make sure that has worked first and foremost. Okay, so that's compiled. If we run, and there's our it running, and what we will do is let's manually unregister the OCX as well, so you know it's definitely running.
You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to, because mine, the moment that I put it, it's still registered. I mean, but the moment that I put it as reg3com, it just doesn't load the app.
Well, I just like to, so that everybody, so we know what to expect and so on and so forth, and we know it's definitely working, and so on. So.
I mean, I couldn't even get that far.
Actually, I don't think I am.
You don't have it registered, huh?
It does registered, but I think we should run as administrator for that.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know, I could have just done them tab. I don't know why I typed in so many carriage returns there, but okay. Okay, so that's unregistered, but we should still be able to run because we're in reg3com, which of course we are. Right. So everybody else who's new to reg3com, what you should get to at this point now is you will have your original command bars manifest. This time you will have an extra entry in here, extra section, which says it's going to make use of the extreme command bars. The template's written this for you, the version number, and go hand in hand with that is the matching command bars. And we have the matching command bars. We'll answer this. We'll see where we go with this. But at the end of it, remind me to bring up the subject of renaming the OCXs, because I was doing that with one of the clients this week, and we found some interesting facts regarding renaming the OCXs and then using them that way.
Really?
Yeah, it's quite interesting.
Huh.
And other programs which used them, so that caught us out on a client site as well. So
Yeah, I wouldn't even be thinking of renaming the OCX. I mean, why would you do that? But yeah, we'll talk. Well,
yeah, it was.
We'll
I don't want to digress, but somebody rewind me. Okay,
Yeah.
so far so good. So what would we do next? What else do you use in your application?
Okay, I have the Calendar Pro, Chart Pro, Report Control, Suite Controls, and
Okay,
Task
so let's
Panel.
add one of these. So you what's Calendar Pro, so let's add Calendar Pro. Again, always use always use a predefined version for Reg3Com, and that way the template knows basically what settings to go and generate for the manifest file. If you manually specify, then
It won't
it's not
create
going.
it
It's
won't
not going
create
to,
the manifest. Yeah.
because it doesn't know. You basically manually is your manual. You're going to do it yourself.
Right.
Do the predefined color theme, I should say. We'll go with Reg3Com. We'll place a license in there. Back to that. We're going to need, of course, the OCX. I'm going to be doing some work this evening, actually, or possibly early in the morning, on the Unicode applications. So I'll report back next week on my findings on that, because I've got some Unicode work coming up. So for the Asian markets. Okay, so let's quickly pause that. Okay, and we'll grab the license. Okay. Oh, did that not pause a second ago?
Yeah, you paused.
Am I paused now?
No.
Okay. The controls threw me. Okay, so now that's only added. We'll expect that to generate the manifest. We haven't added any control or extension, which we can do, just in case that's throwing you on your application. Sorry, I should really let's just change my Avast settings. Otherwise, this is going to be doing this all day. Won't be a second.
My antivirus never complains.
What do you use?
Nod. ESET.
Oh, yep.
I like it a lot.
And webinars. Okay, that's better. Okay, so far so good, and we'll add it to the application frame, so it's actually going to initialize. Don't think that'll be the problem on yours, but let's do that anyway. So this will create that. Okay. So calendar. What was the next one?
Suite controls.
Okay, so we've got a calendar.
With the extension of the date time enhancer.
Right, okay. So we've got that. For those who, again, aren't familiar with it, so now if we look in our folder, we've got two OCXs, of course, which we copied in manually, command bars and calendar, and we would expect 3 manifest files, 1 for the application and 2 for the controls we're using. 1 for the calendar, 1 for the command bars, And a quick peek inside here, you'll see that now we start building up multiple dependencies. One for command bars, one for calendar. So now, next, we mentioned suite controls with it. Okay, 18.3.
I have language preference on the 18.3. I wonder if that's kind of crossing it.
Okay, no, that's a very good thing. Let's take suite controls off and let's go with, we'll just bring the languages in. So,
I'm just going to take it out of mine. Well,
so we've got translations. Use Espanol.
yeah, but I was using 13.4 Espanol, so I don't know. I don't even have that anymore, so I don't know if it's maybe throwing it out. I'll just take it out.
13.4.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll just throw it out.
Yeah, I wouldn't, just like the themes, I would use the matching DLLs from the matching version.
It probably doesn't find it because it's really old. I just had it on my app set up that way. But I'll take it out because it's probably not even finding it.
Well, let's put our languages in. So we are going to use that, and we'll put it on the calendar as well.
So do you put just the name of the file locally? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, that it can go off in a folder if you want it to and so on. But I'm just going to go with that. So let's take a quick look. Now, that's changed. Those haven't, but we know that that's actually a particular issue. That should, and if it repaints, it does actually do the second time. So, but you can see, de Mayo, so 14th of May, and so on.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got our languages. So we were going to add suite controls next.
So do we need the themes in there? The Visual Studio, DLLs, and all that kind of stuff?
It depends if you're using them. If you're not using them, no. If you are using them, then yes. Bit of an obvious statement, but yeah, basically.
Right. But if they're not there, would it just not use them, or would it crash?
If they're not there, then you'll just get like a black theme or a default theme.
Okay. So it shouldn't matter if they're not.
No. Quick pause on
We can see you. Okay. Yeah, well, I was going to tell you.
No, thank you very much. So we are controls. Okay, that's back on again. And we'll do a compile before adding the other extension. So it's basically just one step at a time, if you will. Now. Yeah, we've got an issue. We're not firing up.
All right. Now change your your command bars, so that it's not reg free, and try it.
Well, we've all registered it.
Well, register it.
Okay. Well, before we do that, let's just take a quick look at the settings. So let's clean that up so I can just see what have we got. Suite controls. Looks kind of normal. Yep, don't see anything there. Just looking at those. I would have expected maybe a Kojak dot in front of them.
In which one?
If you notice the prog IDs on all of them.
Okay, this is a suite control one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry.
That's the manifest for the. But why would it bother the other one?
Well, just okay. Let me just go back one. I'm just going to deviate a little because I just want to prove suite controls on its own did work.
Well, if you put 18 point, yes, it does work. But if you put 18.1 or of the command bars, for example,
Yeah.
it works just fine. But 18.3 won't.
Okay. Let's try that then.
So I don't know if there's just like a incompatibility. I guess we found the incompatibility, at least with 2 of them. It may be 3 or 4, I don't know.
So what they're saying is command bars. That one. So we've got 18.1 in there.
Yes.
So you think if I put that to 18.1 it'll work?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I was probably sounding a little hesitant because I'd be very surprised, but I'll take your word for it, of course. Wow.
Uh-huh. Told ya.
Wow, indeed. I think, well, obviously, that needs reporting to CodeJock because from a generation point of view, oh, not that one, sorry, after all that, the same manifest, actually, no.
Can you compare the 2 manifests, the 18.01 and the 18.3?
Right, let's take a copy of that one. Change that back to 1803. And regenerate.
And that one's not going to run.
No, it's not. Well, we'll quickly look, but no, it doesn't. Does it leave a stub in memory? Is it attempting to run?
Nope. Well,
Nope.
I did that too. It doesn't leave anything.
Okay, so now what I wanted to look at is those 2 files. I've got it. And yeah, there is a difference between the 2. I'm going to pull the control down. So, the new one has 2 new entries in there.
Mm-hmm.
The backstage list and the command bars global. That would have been in the previous one. No, it's a backstage the backstage. So, command bars is there. Command bars frame, image manager.
There's a push button now that we didn't have before.
Right. And the
I wonder what would happen if we just take those out. I mean, would it make it
the push button is in the oh, come on, Brainy, go Andy. It's in the suite controls as well. We bring the suite controls into that equation. And
so maybe they're clashing, huh?
Just wondering. I'm sure you've got a push button in here.
There's a button.
Push button. CodeJock push button.
Yeah.
And a normal push button.
Is it called the same? I mean, does it have the same address? Maybe the TLB or something? No,
No,
no.
but one's a backstage button for prop page.
That wasn't it. The other one was called push button.
Yeah. Well, the prog ID is both the same. So I'm wondering whether that's throwing it. Well,
Right.
what we can do is let's just take that out of the equation. So we go back to our standard command bars. That's that one. And we know in this mode now, it's not running. So on our command bars, let's see if we start manipulating it. Let's take that out. Never tried this, by the way.
I haven't either, but yeah, I mean, if it makes it work for
That's
me,
it.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
So it's like, I don't know. Does it even exist in there? Why would it grab it? Let me try it over here.
Let's open up the 18.3 command bars.
Use reg free com. So you took out the push button in the command bar
Yeah, push buttons.
manifest, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so what I'm wondering there then is
If some things are not going to work
if
anymore.
it's in the manifest that I'm generating, has it picked up? Mind you, no, it's just one particular. I use Dave's. I'm not blaming Vingy because I would need to report this to CodeJock in case they've got two of the same prog IDs, as we've
Right.
just seen there. So just to recap, just close that. We'll regenerate our app. Oh, yes, we'll regenerate our app. We'll go to our manifest, which will reload, and you'll see between the backstage button and backstage separator, you'll see a line appear. Push button general. Okay. Of course, the app will not run now. If we take that line out and save it, can I save that? No, hang on. Hang on a second then. No, I think we might have got lost here a little because that's not done it. So I'm just wondering whether we'd not recompiled between the two.
It's still crashed, or?
No. So that's not running. Okay. So it was that one I said about removing. So we'll remove that out.
And save it. Yeah.
Attempt to run. Oh, maybe I didn't press save then. Get a little lost. That's definitely 18.3 into that we're still on.
Extreme.
Yeah, it is.
Man, it's on the command bar one, right?
It's on the command bar one, yeah. And it's between backstage button and backstage separator. I think they should have really called it backstage push button.
Oh, could be.
Because it actually appears like so.
It has the
And
description.
if you look at the description, it's a backstage button. Whereas if we look at the one in the suite controls, there's a suite controls one, and you can see there is just a straightforward push button pop page. So basically, they've got a duplicate of those.
Yeah, and obviously it gives it a big problem. It just
Now, going back to this, I wonder if so I'll save that. the app won't work. Hang on a second. Now, how's that worked? Because I've just saved that. That's our manifest. And it's got the push button in there. And just to make sure, see, I'll do that. We can see the save button. There's it saved. We'll run. And now it's running with that. So
mine runs too. I don't know what will happen if some things will stop working or not.
Yeah, but no, this has got the thing back in again. It's got the manifest back in.
I mean, if you take that one line out, I mean, will it make your app give some kind of problems or something?
We've got the question of basically, if it's that what's causing the problem, why is it running now all of a sudden? So let's take the 18.1 out of the equation. Let's close that. Okay, and we'll get rid of the 18.1 manifest. We'll get rid of the 18.1 control. Okay, so just the regular 18.3. We'll recompile our app. In fact, no, we'll go one better. We'll get rid of our manifest files. Let the app regenerate them, so we know that they are definitely new. Okay, that hasn't run. Which we know. I try manually run it. Nothing. Manifest, yes, it's changed. Okay. Now, a little at a loss. We take that line out. I'm going to just cut it because I'm going to paste it back in a second. We cut that line out, save it. We run.
What if you try the RCMG, see if it creates the proper manifest?
That's where they're from.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I've got them.
Oh, right. But I don't know. Maybe you made a mistake, copy paste or something.
For a line in the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've just cut that line, and the app will run fine.
That's right.
Close. Yeah, but what gets stranger is I will now undo that and save that. So now it's the one what didn't work. Agreed?
Mm-hmm.
The app runs. How's that?
You probably have something in memory or something. I don't know. Maybe like it pre-registered it or something. I don't know. Maybe caching. Some caching problem. I don't know. I can't make things up forever.
So something's definitely going on. That's an obvious statement. I've got to admit, I'm just not sure what. That I will have to do some more tests on.
Mm-hmm.
So on yours, because you've got a non-working system, if you go to your manifest, I'll tell you what we'll do. I wonder. Right, we'll regenerate the app, and it's not running, and the manifest is back there, so it won't run. And I'm just going to take most of the things out. Okay, this is going to leave it quite empty. Does it work? Yes. Okay. Now I'm just going to press undo and resave them. Yeah, same. Okay, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to definitely do some more digging in that, if you will, to see what that is and see what's going on. I'm gonna probably end up having to involve Kojock on it, so that they can shed some light on it as well.
All right. Do you think if we just leave it without that line, it'll work? Or do you think
I do, yeah, because you're not using the backstage things at the moment.
What's a backstage thing?
The backstage is, let's say, Excel. Doesn't really matter, any of them. Word, Excel, so on and so forth.
Oh, okay.
So,
I can definitely just ship it that way then.
yeah, if you press File, like these tabs, you press File and you get this view. That's backstage view.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm not using that.
So, no, because the template's not released. It's in dev. In fact, it's a good 80-90% done, but it's not released.
All right. I'll do that. I'll fix it that way then.
So,
Ship it off that way.
yeah, as soon as I'm back, I'll email them this week. But when I'm back at my desk and got the full setup, then I'll definitely do some more tests on that and speak to them.
Okay.
Okay, well that was very interesting, actually. Very interesting. A bit curious, but interesting. So,
okay.
Cool.
Thanks for looking in.
Okay, so we've got another question in now. Let's switch from Roberto, and I'm trying to find where we've got questions. I'm trying to find attendees. There you are. Okay, so we'll switch from Roberto, and we've got one from David. So here we go. All right, David, have you got a microphone? No. Oh, I think I might have caught him on the hop, actually. Well, basically, just while hopefully David's getting sorted, his question is there a Chilcat helper or for getting geocode information, address latitude and longitude from Google? And there isn't in the current Chilcat template, but that's not to say we can't add one. The Chilcat, I forgot actually at the start of the webinar, I normally tell you a status update. I've got a whole host. As I said, we've got Wendy working on the Chilcat wrappers now, the support classes, and she's sending them to me literally daily. I just have to do a couple of things to them and put them through their paces, and then they go into a build. So upon my return, you'll get another Chilcat update, and I think more or less all of the email. I think all of the email bundles and so on and so forth are now done. And we're also working on to now some of the the Amazon carts and Amazon S3 and so on and so forth. So some of those are starting to actually be done now. So the support classes for a lot of the Chilcat stuff are coming on leaps and bounds, and there'll be another update next week for the Chilcat stuff. So to answer David's question, is there a helper class? So he means a task class, if you will, for the Google geocode info. There isn't at the moment, but there's definitely no reason why there can't be. Just need to look. The interfacing to some of the Google stuff has already been done. Google Docs, Google Calendar, so on and so forth. There's a task class for the for the calendar. So yeah, basically we could look at adding that. I presume the interface to Google is going to be very simple. So there isn't at present, but it can be added. That's the answer on that one. Any other questions off anybody? Ideas, problems, solutions? Any other things? Okay, got Greg. Okay, Greg, do you have a microphone? Hi, Greg.
Testing.
Yes, testing back.
Do you hear me?
Oh, I do, yes.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was just checking to see if there was any progress with putting controls in the Capesoft dashboard.
The widgets, yes. Sorry, the dash. I dash into it, but
yes.
It's as widgets. Only a little, if truth be told. I did start to have a look. I did say I wanted to do some of the research off basically not live, only because it's a product which I'm aware of, and Bruce has, kindly give us a copy to, to aid in cross supplier support and so on and so forth. So that's very good. But I did start to take a look at it, but as always, I got diverted onto other things, unfortunately. So I did have a look. I looked at their basic widget template. That from that point of view, and then the good news is it didn't look too bad. Didn't look too bad at all. So I would start with a simple one. I still don't fancy starting it live, and especially as I'm on a laptop and I've not got all my tool sets of multi-monitor and so on and so forth. So I tell you what we'll do by next week. Attend next week, and we'll definitely have a look at least where we're up to on it. How's that sound?
That sounds great. This is progress.
Yeah. I'll be more confident in knowing exactly. Opening up iDash, having a look, as I've already done, like I say, just from a template point of view on the widget, and it looks pretty simple. But I'll have more confidence in basically copying that, changing the prompts, and then having it for probably charting is the obvious one to start with. Report control, property grid being the ones to follow.
Super. All right.
Thanks, and the good news of that is, as you've probably seen on, let's say, could be any property grid, as good as any. You've got various prompts, so you've got your categories and you've got your items and so on and so forth, and you can add it. Actually, a command bar is probably a better example. You can add the command bar and you've got all the controls, you've got various different tabs, and from a template point of view, it can be added to the app frame, it can be added to a window as a docked extension, it can be added to a window as a positioned, so you can draw it and so on. So you've got all them same sets of template prompts. Well, all of those are groups, which the equivalent of a bit like, I suppose, a routine or a procedure, if you will, in the normal Clarion language. It's likened to that. So the good thing is, when we create this widget, just like I say, okay, the calendar recently, I needed to create an app frame extension. It took me probably about 15-20 minutes, because all I had to do is just create the actual template code for adding an extension to the application frame, so it's an extension, and then all of the normal prompts and so on and so forth were all in groups, so I could just do #include and bring them all in automatically. So it'll be exactly the same for the widget. It'll be basically there'll be an extra tab for the widget, so what it needs to be able to talk to iDash, but the rest of the prompts, i.e. for a property grid, the categories and items, for a chart, for the data sets and so on and so forth, all of those prompts are already done. So they'll be very, very simple to bring in. The main thing is just getting the actual placeholder on the screen and putting it into where iDash wants you to create those, that code. That's the only difference we'll have to work out.
Oh, that's great, Andy. Look forward to it.
So, yes. Okay. I presume David's still not got a mic, but if you do, David, by all means, jump in. The mic is open still for you. Any other questions of anybody, or ideas, suggestions? No. Okay. Well, while we're still waiting and see if anyone else got any, as I say, I'll tell you what's in dev at the moment. There's the updates to Chillcat, which are continually ongoing, so there's that. I'm going to be taking a look at some Unicode use of the controls, mainly for Chinese actually, but basically to see if we can start using the Unicode version. Primarily, it will be the report control, but just as the suite controls has a date time entry in there, and it has an automatic enhancer, we're going to be doing that for the suite controls for some of the more common entries, sort of common controls. So your entry, your spin, basically trying to start to replace some of the Clarion UI, so we can actually start supporting Unicode. How we're going to store it is another matter, so we're going to have to worry about that. But basically, see if we can come up. If it's the Unicode's fine, we can then create an enhancer to just attach to a window, and it'll just automatically enhance all your entries to Unicode entries, which are Kojak entries. So that's a little project I'll be playing about with as early as this evening / tomorrow morning. And of course, on another project, I've actually started on the report control, dynamic report generation tied into the charting for a particular project. So when that is more or less done, I'm going to knock that together as an example app, and you'll all get that free of charge. So that's where you'll be able to basically ship out reports or content, if you will, as a JSON file and bring them in to your app. And hey presto, you'll basically have a runtime queryable report control built with charting facilities on it as well. So that's an update of what we're on at the moment. So it's very, very busy, as you can tell. I think unless anyone's got any queries or questions, we are out of material. Anybody? Nobody? Okay. Well, it looks like we're on for an early finish, folks. If that's the case, I will thank you all for attending. Hopefully it's been beneficial, as always. So until next week then, if that's okay. Okay, I shall see you then. Thank you, everybody. Cheers.